what kind of advice you might give to buyers who are sort of inundated right now with automated solutions and fixes for document accessibility. What are some of the questions they should be asking about those types of solutions to make sure that they're, making things both accessible and compliant, following their requirements?
We've seen accessibility overlays kind of in the digital website accessibility space for quite some time. And, we're starting to see some of that crop up now in the document space, making very similar claims, right? Put our tool on your website, and by virtue of paying the subscription and having our tool on your website, we will ensure that all of your documents are accessible, right? And the same problem applies that in reality, the documents are not fully compliant, and they're misrepresenting the capabilities of what they can do. And if you're always ever kind of asking yourself, how do I know if the solution that I'm looking at is an accessibility overlay? Ask yourself, what happens if you stop paying that subscription, right? That tool suddenly stops working, right? And then your website, your documents, anything that was quote unquote being made accessible by that tool is suddenly right back to where it was before you bought that tool in the first place, right? That is an example of something that's not actually fixing the underlying content. It's trying to kind of band-aid the solution and not really doing a great job while at it, right? So that is one category of product that we're seeing a lot of appear in the market, are what I would almost call accessibility overlays for documents, right? I don't think a day goes by that I don't see on LinkedIn new manual remediation services company, or I receive messages offering manual remediation services. So organizations are kind of popping up all over the place that offer manual PDF or electronic document remediation. And I think the thing to keep in mind is that, while the price points of some of these might be really appealing, it's important to keep in mind, how long are these organizations going to be around? They're kind of coming and going from the market very quickly. And so if you have a document that's remediated by them, a problem comes up with it, you find out a year down the road, will they still be around for you to go back and actually get that underlying document fixed, right? To meet that accessibility standard. And then do they have the expertise, right? If they just opened up shop, how long do they have in the document accessibility space? What certifications do they have? What training do they have? How many documents have they actually remediated over the course of their working career, right? And so understanding the expertise, I think, is really important. And so, it's just very important that while there are new entrants all the time into the market offering these manual remediation services at some, potentially really enticing price points, you have to ask yourself, are they going to be around if the problems come up later on down the road? Do they have the expertise to actually ensure those documents are in fact accessible? And do they guarantee their work, right?
So the second thing I would think about when I'm thinking about the accessibility vendor I'm working with is, what kind of reporting can you give me? What kind of proof can you give me that this document has been made accessible? So inherently, the tagging of documents, all of the kind of document accessibility structure, if you're viewing a document with the naked eye, that's all going to be invisible to you. So I could send you a PDF today and say this is an accessible PDF, and unless you have the means and understanding to go and find out if that document has been tagged properly, there's no real way to know just by looking at it. Also, you don't want to have to go and check every document individually, so it's a good idea to work with a trusted vendor that you don't feel the need to do that.